own medical insurance when they come to the country. Schools, we're going to launch a campaign end of December. That first week of January 2026, we're going to be stationed at school, and no foreign child will be attending a school in a public school. They can rather take them to private, we don't care, but at public schools, it's going to be reserved for South African children only.
Yo, I'm so damn cross with this government here, Runa. From Wana ka khona no always a grade 10 this year. From grade 8, I've been struggling for Wana ka akre school.
Must be clear that we will not have undocumented illegal foreigners in our schools, in our public facilities. If the private schools want to take them, that's fine. We don't care. But public schools are reserved for South Africans, and if you are a foreigner, you must be well documented and have everything. You must have your study visas, which I know for a fact that most of them, 90% of them, will not be able to produce these documents.
If you've enjoyed this video so far, please do me a huge favour and hit the like button and subscribe. These videos take quite a long time to make, so if you could help me out, I'll love you forever. Thank you all for your support. Now let's get back to this crazy story.
Now, this is the penultimate number, and it's number 2. At number 2, I present to you Kweku Afrique. Wow! This guy has a thunderous voice. Like, when he speaks, you wanna listen. I've been able to watch a couple of his videos, and I sincerely will tell you that he makes great impression in whatever content he's going to present. Thank you so much, Mr. Kweku. Keep up the good work.
So it's 2026, and a promise which was made by Operation Dudula in late 2025 is already materializing, because they've started going school by school, ensuring that foreign kids are prevented from attending South African schools, and that kids from South Africa are being prioritized.
Can we be assisted, please? In the absence of the principal and the deputy, who is in charge? Akubi? But they must assist. Whoever, I get we don't want to disrupt the school, we're not here for that. We just want to talk to the right person and deliver the letter and leave. Who do we talk to? Because I get about it looks like they're in exam rooms and we can't disrupt them more. So can we get somebody that will address the letter, get it signed, and then we leave? I'm sure there is somebody that can acknowledge the letter that we have. You call? Oh, okay, thanks.
So already the school season has started, and so many South African kids are being denied access to education. Most of them, they'll have to walk or take cars to a very long distance before they can be admitted. Schools which are around them or surrounding them, they are being denied admissions.
Yo, I'm so damn cross with this government here, Runa. From Wana ka khona no always a grade 10 this year. From grade 8, I've been struggling for Wana ka akre school. Wana ka hatlo ya grade 8, ana kena kona churena primary. Hatlo is a grade 8. Kamu apply la right on time online. Bamulathela Tefontein. I went to district Kibablelor. I can't afford transport here at Tefontein. It's too much for now. That time I nekisa sebezi. So Kabablela district azanga yamthusa. Mwanaka end up ke sokola. Mwanaka ke transport ya 1,000 rand from Deep Kloof to Tefontein. Grade Hatlo is a grade 9. Kamo apply again ko Mondio. At least Mondio is nearer nyana le Deep Kloof. Mondio ya gana go nka ngwanaka. Gona ya no ke kreile part time ke a sebetsa. A ke government, a ke rely mo government ka 350. So nna ke batlile part time at the age of 58. Ke sebetsa ko Richway because ke a sokola. Transport ya ka ya msebetsing, transport ya ngwana ya Tefontein. Ka mo ke school fees se ba mpatlang public school eba government e mpatlang school fees sa 9,000. So ke tla khona nna I never ke kenye ngwana ka mo government mo deep kloof because ha etsa in Africans mo akere. So that is why ke mo isa ka go north ka go south. So gona no ke kreile le togonyana ke kreile part time ke a sebetsa ko Richway because ke a sokola. My boss abampuela le the owner ya tenant gore ba mphe pleke mo Richway ke dula mo mo Richway. So it's nearer gore ke dule mo ke save transport and then ngwana ka ke matlela sekolo mo president because onka 3 minutes gore ayo sekolo nge ke dula mo. So ke dula mo gore ngwana lena dule mo ngwana hoke at least re ska sokola ka transport.
So, late 2025, that was when Operation Dudula gave the green light that this year they are going to ensure that all students, all kids are given admission in the area where they find themselves.
Why this appeal will activate our members to go to the street. We are going to schools. We are not going to shy away. We don't want foreign nationals in public schools. We are going to public health facilities. We are clear about that. We are going to make sure that we put South Africans first.
Because if we stop, we'll have more kids who will not have schools, who will not be in school classes. We'll have more people without medication. We'll still have our old grannies standing in long queues just to get medication. We'll still have our old South Africans dying, waiting for their cancer treatment. We're going to continue with our operations. That's the reason why we're going to appeal, because...
And they didn't disappoint. So they've started going from school to schools, giving letters and ensuring that proprietors or principals ensure that all foreign nationals are kicked out of the schools and that South Africans are all admitted in these schools in their vicinities.
Yeah, attention school principal is admission of foreign learners in their schools. And Operation Dudula is a political party registered as such in accordance with South Africa's electoral laws. And best before was to enforce the country's laws in terms of Section 1 and 42 of the Criminal Procedure Act 51 of 1977. Hereby embarks on a combating operations at all schools in South Africa to ensure compliance with the new admission requirements of learners. The Basic Education Amendment Act 2 of 2024, which came into operation on the 13th of September 2024, introduces the following admission requirements. Section 1 and B of the Basic Education Amendment Act introduces these requirements on foreign learners. Where both parents of a learner are foreign nationals and hold either permanent residence permit or temporary residence visa, the following documents are required. The learner's foreign issued birth certificate. That's 1. 2. The learner's passport. 3. A study visa or permanent resident permit issued to the learner. The Act makes it compulsory that all foreign learners should have study visas, permanent resident permits, parents' passports, and temporary or permanent resident visas. No illegal foreign learner should be admitted at school. An illegal foreign learner is an illegal immigrant and should be arrested, put into protective custody, and deported with their parents in terms of Section 49 of Immigration Act 13 of 2003. We also bring to your attention Prevention and Combating of Trafficking in Persons Act 7 of 2013, the law which criminalizes harboring of trafficked children. And in this regard, when a school admits a child whose identity is unknown to the school principal becomes complicit to the crime of human trafficking. Furthermore, the Ministry of Education has announced on Newsroom Africa, the news channel on 22nd August 2025, that parents of learners should not provide affidavits as proof to explain the absence of an identity document, physical address, or work address.
And so now Operation Dudula is currently attempting to block the enrollment of foreign children, specifically those who are undocumented as the new academic year begins. Now, Operation Dudula has already sent letters to a lot of schools, especially around Johannesburg and most of the areas in South Africa. And they argue that South African children should be prioritized for limited school placement. Now, according to them, overcrowding and lack of placement of South African kids are caused by foreign national kids who are replacing and taking the positions of the South African kids in their schools. So they held a meeting and engaged with parents whose kids have been affected to put out their issues, and some of them responded.
The start of the school year is a stressful time for many parents, largely due to placement challenges. Several factors contribute to these difficulties, including overcrowding in public schools. Parents gathered in Diepkloof, Soweto, in the hope that a campaign spearheaded by Operation Dudula will help address their concerns.
Government is prioritizing the foreigners more than us, really, because I even went to school, by the way, I forgot to tell you. I went to school before the schools were closed. There were many foreigners in St. John Adamson. So the other lady said, no, here we are not going to get help. I said, I must talk to the clerk first. I don't want to hear say. I just went to the clerk, and the clerk said, you know what, you must just wait, because maybe the other parents don't want St. John's, like you don't want Northview. Maybe there will be a place there. So I don't know, I'm just frustrated. So the government is failing us really, especially this thing of email, what is it, online, no, it's failing us really. It's failing us. Sometimes you don't have data to do that. So it means you can't place your child will not go to school.
The organization has vowed to intensify efforts to prevent children of undocumented foreign nationals from attending public schools.
Our children are sitting at home, where else we've got schools. They don't have access to schooling in terms of the schools are said that they are full, and they are using this system of online application, which is very cumbersome for a lot of parents in the township especially. And this is not a Johannesburg issue, it's a national issue, and we are doing this nationally. We might be operating here right now here in Diepkloof, but then all of our members across the country have been made aware, our provincial organizers have been made aware of the project and the campaign, and this is what we'll be doing throughout, whereby we find opportunities. If the kids are not placed in school, we get involved, we intervene, and we place kids on the schools.
Now, don't forget that in late 2025, Operation Dudula issued warning letters to several schools, particularly in Soweto, demanding that they do not admit undocumented foreign nationals for the 2026 year. Now, this comes as a result of the fact that most of parents are now crying that as a result of the new computerized placement scheme, they are unable to access and place their kids. As a result, foreign nationals have taken advantage. But the Department of Basic Education and Minister Garuba have reportedly stated that South African constitutions guarantee the right to basic education for everyone in the country, regardless of their documentation status.
Basic Education Minister Siviwe Garuba says schools must remain safe spaces for pupils and not arenas for political debates. This as Operation Dudula takes its fight against illegal migration to schools.
The issue around illegal immigration is one that the country must grapple with, but it cannot happen inside our schools. If people want to have a conversation about illegal immigration with the Department of Basic Education, the headquarters of DBE are situated in Pretoria. So is the Gauteng Department of Education, and so is Home Affairs. And so let's have the conversations where it's appropriate. Where it is not appropriate is people coming to demand, to say to teachers and principals, show us which children are not documented. Warnings have been that in January, people are going to prevent children from coming to school. It's a slippery slope. We know that there are millions of South African children, some of whom are not documented themselves. So where do we draw the line? And so for me, my obligation is simply to children. And children cannot be part of our political discourse and part of our political contestation. Let's have those conversations and those battles outside of school grounds. And let's at least make sure that schools are places of learning and places of safety. Over and above that, the Constitution is clear on the Department of Education about the fact that any child who's of compulsory school going age should be allowed to access basic education.
The DBE has also warned that disrupting teaching and learning is a criminal offense under the South African Schools Act. And so, police have already placed on alert to prevent vigilante groups from intimidating learners of staff at schools. But regardless of this, a number of parents are still complaining of their wards being refused admission at schools close to their houses. But Operation Dudula is focused on delivering and ensuring that every South African kid is put into school. What is your take on the whole story? Leave your comment in the comment sections around for today.